All right. This entire year is really a study of functions. So, this unit is kind of a basic and overview, but then we will look at quadratic functions. We'll look at exponential functions. We'll look at reciprocal functions. We'll look at radical functions. We're going to look at all of them. Now, the cool thing is because they are all types of functions, they operate and work quite similarly. There are a few things with each of them that we learn that are unique and distinct, but there's a lot of things that repeat. And once we learn them early, they pay off all year long. So what I want to do here is go over what are called the parent functions. Now, what a parent function is the most basic, simple version of that function and what it looks like. So the first one is just a line with a slope of 1 and an intercept of 0. And, if you plug in a -7, you get a -7. You plug in -3, 0, 3, 8. And basically, the line that you get, which is the most basic, is this one right here. Now, to do this, I know where to draw the lines, but you could have plotted any of those, and they're all along here. Here's the -3, 3, here's the 0, 0, here's the 8, 8, and so on. But this is called a linear function, and it's the most basic one. Slope of 1, intercept of 0, and then we can go in the business of tweaking and twisting and changing and all those things. This will be kind of our next unit once we get going on it. This is the quadratic. Now, you already have studied this in Algebra 2. The quadratic makes a parabola-like shape, and because of the squaring is why that happens. It's because when you square positive numbers, you get positive, and when you square negative numbers, you still get positive. So if I put in -2 squared, that's 4, -1 squared 1, and look what happens when they're positive. Now, when I graph this, I get the following shape here. 2, 4. I'm actually going to do 3, 9 as well. 2, 4, 3, 9. And let's see how well I do on that. That's not too bad. Now let's discuss this. Actually, let's zoom in on it a little bit and discuss it a bit. What I need you to notice, and again, we'll have a whole unit on this, but do you see the symmetry? Do you see these points 1 over 1 up, 2 over 4 up, 3 over 9 up? They represent the basic shape. This is the parent, and it will always look this way. And then you and I later will tweak it and twist it and make it bigger and smaller and move it around and do a bunch of things. Let me speed up at this stage to a couple others. The absolute value, we've kind of discussed this one. If you plug in a value, it comes out positive, and so you get something that's kind of like a parabola. Let's see, 4, 4, 8, 8, and so on. -4, 4, -8, 8. And instead of being kind of a U-like shape, this one's very much V-like. The lines are straight, and you could plot some more to verify that, but that's the idea. That's the parent. Also got symmetry. 2 more. Let me quickly go at these. And again, we will do a unit on each of these. This one's called the exponential. This one's a little harder because we have to maybe review what 2 to the power of -2 is. But if you put it in your calculator, you're going to get 1/4 or 0.25. If you put in a -1 there, you're going to get a half or 0.5. When you put in 0, you get 1 to your surprise. And then we get 2, 4, and 8, and off we go. Now, verify that you know how to do that. We will spend time on this, don't worry. But what this looks like is like this right here. You've seen this before. It comes in really tiny and then starts accelerating as we say, exponentially. So it comes in, slow, takes off, right? It's exponential growth, big growth in a small period of time. So it's tiny, 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 and then it takes off. Its key point here is at 0 and 1. One last one to go, the square root. You know how to do a square root or the radical function. And we just plug in a value of 0. We get 0. The square root of 1 is 1. Notice I picked 4 here, not 2. I don't like the square root of 2. It's a little tiny decimal. I like the square root of 4. Comes out to ding, 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 2. Square root of 9 is 3. And it looks like this: 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, and 9 is 3. It actually, spoiler alert, is kind of like a half of a parabola, kind of sideways. Anyways, these are the parent functions. And what you are going to experiment with in the future here is moving these around. But these are the parents and what they look like.